The purpose of this episode is to discuss the rising popularity of retreats. Uh, these trips give time away from the daily routine, focusing towards personal development, self awareness, and connection with a higher sense of purpose. An opportunity to elevate the consciousness through mindful practices. Today's guest leads spiritual retreats for women, soon for men as well. She has a deep understanding of spirituality from her own practices and brings years of experience to the table. Welcoming the leadership coach for an exciting conversation on spirituality and leadership, Aarya Sufiana.
Thank you,
Welcome.
dear. Namaste. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste,
It's
everyone.
wonderful to be here.
Thank you. And I'm really excited for our conversation today around spirituality and leadership. This is a very powerful combination.
Yes, I fully agree. Women stepping into the leadership is very important for the planet Earth right now. As we all know that since thousands of years, there has been a lot of patriarchy on planet Earth. And very often people tell me like, oh, patriarchy means you are only talking about the oppression and suppression of women. And I say, absolutely not. In a patriarchal world, half of ourself is not allowed. So in that sense, men suffer, women suffer, children suffer. All life on planet Earth will suffer if we don't bring the planet Earth into a balance between the divine masculine essence and the divine feminine essence, because it is the union of these two essences that creates the whole world.
It is the masculine energy and the feminine that complement each other, and they bring out the best in each other. At least that is the purpose of the that they say that opposites attract. So
Yes.
yes, they do attract, but the role is to bring out the best in each other and complement each other's.
Absolutely. You've hit
Right.
the nail right on the head, complementing each other.
Yes.
So if you see the yin and yang symbol, what do you see in the yin and yang symbol?
Oh, wow.
Yes, there is a
Did
dark part,
Zoom
there is
just
a light.
make that? Did Zoom just
It's in
make that
Taoism.
heart?
No, this is a circle,
Okay.
and in the middle is a line that
Oh, okay,
separates.
okay, yes, yes.
One side is white, one side is black, right? In yin and yang
Yes,
symbol.
exactly.
What is there inside the black part is a white dot. What is there inside the white part is a black dot. Within yin, there is yang. Within yang, there is yin. So here, when I'm talking about the masculine principle and the feminine principle, I'm not just talking about men and women. Sometimes maybe we will be talking about men and women, but sometimes we will be talking about the divine masculine and the divine feminine principle that is there within all of us. Now, I can be a very rational person sometimes. I'm very focused. I'm very much in my mind. And in that moment, I'm running my masculine energy. But then sometimes I must listen to my intuition. Sometimes I'm thinking, you know what? I've challenged myself enough. I've pushed myself enough. Now I want to let go. I want to surrender and I want to listen to my body. So there are certain qualities which are very much masculine. So there is a challenge, there is the focus. So now doesn't mean that men don't have intuition, that men don't have the softness of the feminine energy. They have that as well. But predominantly, they will come from the masculine essence. Women, very often, they will come more from the feminine essence, but they also have the masculine essence, the masculine qualities within them. Now, I'm a very purpose driven person, right? So when I am moving towards my purpose, leading all these workshops, organizing my retreats, planning the promotion, all these things, I am running my masculine energy. But when I am exhaling and going into my soft voice and channeling the voice of the sacred feminine, when I'm leading my retreat, I'm going more into my feminine. So we are always, all through the day, I'm flowing through my feminine essence and my masculine essence. The reason why I say that uniting these two forces is going to lead towards world peace is because the world is made from these two energies. You said that when opposites come together, opposites attract, right? When you put the two poles of the magnet in front of each other, they like zoop, they will immediately connect. But when you put the same pole facing each other, what is going to happen? It's going to push each other away. And that is why bringing the world back into balance is going to require, first and foremost, to activate also the feminine qualities, the feminine essence, and also giving it its due value and worth and importance. Intuition is as important as rationality, but sometimes intuition, listening to the intuition is more important. Sometimes listening to the rationality is more important. Sometimes me holding my warrior pose in yoga, I can do it, I can push myself, is more important. Sometimes doing yoga nidra and surrendering, like a lying down, like a corpse pose, is more important. Yeah. So when sometimes I like to give a demo to my class. Okay, let's do a demo. I want you to take a deep in, take a deep in breath. Now don't exhale, take another deep in breath. Now don't exhale, take another deep in breath. Now don't exhale and keep on taking another deep in breath. Is it possible? Is it possible if you keep on taking in breath after in breath without exhaling? What's going to happen? Okay, you can open your eyes now. What's going to happen? You will die. If you don't allow that which needs to die, then you will die. So exhalation is as important as inhalation. Death is as important as birth. So allowing things to die from our life, that is my feminine side. I'm letting go. But masculine essence is, I am waking up in the morning, I'm ready to take charge of my life, and I'm going to, that is the golden sun. Morning time is the time of the golden sun, the divine masculine essence. Night time is the time of the moon. The moon energy says, come into the soft light, surrender to the bed, let go, exhale, relax. Relaxing is as important as doing. Being is as important as doing. But what happens in the patriarchal world? We are more into doing more. And then what happens? Burnout. Fire energy, masculine energy, burnout. So too much doing can go into burnout. So a lot of people are suffering from chronic illnesses. And in today's world, my journey into spirituality also started with chronic illness, which came from burnout. So, yeah.
Well, what a man, for example, let me quickly summarize. A man is one who has specific goals and
Masculine energy.
who,
Let's say
yeah,
masculine energy and
basically,
feminine energy. Because
mm,
both can have both. Men and women both can have
yes,
both.
yes.
But
But
just one is predominantly
masculine,
one side.
the masculine energy is more on the base of it's similar to hunting, to go and hunt
Yes.
for what
Yes.
you truly want, and the feminine energy is more on the lines of letting go, and the masculine energy is of accumulating, going hunting and accumulating
Mhm.
resources, making things
Yes.
happen.
Moving towards the goal, going
Which is why,
outside.
yes, which is why masculine is the hard energy, while feminine energy is the soft, soothing.
Mhm. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. And we need both to function in the world. I need my external life. I also need my internal life. I need to do, but I also
Balance.
balance it out with be. Otherwise, like I mentioned, like you have mentioned that you are on a raw food diet most of the time. I'm also becoming very conscious about my lifestyle. Why are so many people being called to returning to nature? So return to nature, working in the working in harmony with nature, working with the cycles of nature is the feminine energy. And if you see in today's world, we have lost touch with the cycles of nature. What time we go to sleep, what time we wake up, we have all these bright lights all around us. A lot of people want to party and get drunk and then sleep at 2 or 3 o'clock at night. Then slowly the body starts deteriorating because our bodies have come from nature. So the body is the feminine in Hindu mythology. There is the archetypes of the Shiv and Shakti. Shiv is the one that is witnessing, and Shakti is the one that is being witnessed. If Shiv is the mind or the consciousness, Shakti is the body. So when we are ignoring the body, when we are ignoring the voice of the body, my body is telling me something. Am I listening? My intuition talks to me through my body. Am I listening? We have been numbed out with all the gaslighting and brainwashing that only rationality is important, only listening to the scientific proof and everything is important. Yes, scientific proofs are very important, but sometimes my intuition will tell me, because there will be a lot of different scientific theories, right? My intuition and my body will tell me whether this theory about taking care of my body and being on what, maybe lemon water in the morning. My body told me that when I was a kid, everybody was having chai and coffee in India. Everybody knows how important the chai is. I was sitting with lemon and black salt in a glass, and people were like very surprised. Why is a little kid drinking black salt and lemon water? Because my body asked for it. So I was born a very intuitive child. Everybody was forcing me to have milk. All the Western doctors, allopathy doctors, you should be having milk. You are so weak because you are not drinking milk. My body was feeling like vomiting every time I smelled the milk being boiled on the gas, which means my body is telling me that this thing does not suit my nature. And today I realized that I was right all along and the doctors were wrong. And when they forced me to have milk, I think that it damaged my gut much more than it already was before. So, yeah, I feel like we need to return to our feminine side now. Men, women, children, everyone. We need yin and yang both within us. I need to have as much importance to my rationality, as much importance to my intuition. I need to give as much importance to listening to my body as I give to pushing my body, saying, you can do it. Don't give up. You can climb this mountain. Don't give up. You can run this marathon. Don't give up. I'm pushing my body. But if I don't balance pushing my body with listening to my body, then I will create a life that is very, very, unhealthy, very unhealthy. And then slowly it's spreading to the whole planet. The whole planet is becoming very unhealthy. How is it possible? You tell me, how is it possible that there is so much progress in science, so much progress in pharmaceutical medicine industry, but our lives are not improving? So many people in the olden days, they did not need a stick to walk, they did not need a wheelchair. And in today's world, people are succumbing to the chronic illnesses much sooner than in the olden days. Then what is going wrong? What do you feel is going wrong?
I have a list, but I
Mm-hmm.
will pick top three things that are going wrong. First of all, nutrition.
Mm-hmm. Yes, nutrition, nourishment, feminine. That's the feminine energy, nourishment. Second,
Second, social media. Too much of
yes.
exposure to technology tea, especially at the wrong time of the day, and I'm equally guilty. So I'm not going to preach anything, but I'm equally guilty.
Yes,
And
we are
the third
discussing.
one, according to me, is a blend of thoughts and emotions, and I
Mhm.
would call it greed, a rise
Mhm.
in greed for more material possessions.
So,
These are
so
top three things, but
accumulation.
yeah,
Yeah. So going after goals to, accumulate something that can be the masculine energy. But when it goes out of proportion, so I've made a list for my workshops, and I'll talk about retreats and the benefits of retreats also very soon. So in my Shakti Tantra teacher training course, I go through a list of shadow masculine and shadow feminine, light masculine and light feminine. So there are shadow qualities. So when we go too much into masculine and without the feminine, then we start going into the shadow qualities of masculine. Now, some fire to take action, some cortisol to go and chase the goal is good. It's healthy. But when there is too much cortisol, then we have gone too much into masculine of doing without balancing it with beingness. So, doingness and beingness, that is where we go into the burnout. So when the scale is going too much into one side, we are going to start going into the shadow side of that side. So it's important to keep the scale like this, right? So what you said is very true, and it is mostly happening because of the imbalance. Now, what happens when we gather in retreats? A lot of the unhealthy lifestyle that we have all been trained into, brainwashed into, programmed into, we can deprogram ourselves. Now, of course, staying at home, you can make some small minor changes in your lifestyle. A lot of people are going into intermittent fasting. A lot of people are realizing the value of raw food, like, including at least some raw foods in your diet to heal the gut. A lot of people are realizing the importance of going to bed early,
meditating.
waking up, meditating, working with the rhythm of nature, doing yoga, meditation, pranayam, all these things. You do a little bit at home, it's great. You are getting some benefits already. But when you go to the retreat, when you are removing yourself from your day to day life, first and foremost, everybody goes through some or the other kind of traumas in their childhood. So, here in the retreat, very often we address the childhood traumas. And it doesn't have to be just childhood traumas, it can also be from any other stage in your life. So, we are going to address traumas. We are going to live conscious lifestyle for 24/7, like from morning till night. Entire lifestyle, you can make it much more conscious, what to eat, how to eat. We do our practices depending on which retreat it is. If it is a self-love retreat, then all the practices will be around self-love, and there will be meditation, there will be yoga, there will be healthy nutritious lifestyle. So much can be learned from being in the retreats. And very often we also have unhealthy codependency with our family members. So when you step away, very often people are living with the family members, especially in India. In India, people even continue living with their parents after the age of 20, after the age of 30. So, Carl Jung, the great psychoanalyst, he talked about the importance of becoming an individual by going through the process of individuation. Now, I don't know about other countries. Well, I've lived in America for 9 years in California. And I saw there the kids, they leave home at 18, 20. Everybody knows that. And in a lot of Western countries, I'm not saying that this is the only way to be. But when you are constantly living with your parents all your life till the age of 30, 40, 50, and if you don't do something that I call shadow work, in shadow work, we address the traumas and the unhealthy patterns that have been passed on to us. So our ancestral line passes on certain kind of traumas. Now, if there was maybe certain kind of abandonment issue, or some kind of abuse, some kind of physical abuse, psychological abuse, if there was scarcity consciousness, all these unhealthy beliefs, patterns, they get passed on from generation to generation. So it's very important to step away from the family, step away from people that you have been programmed by, and then to really become one with your own self. And through nature, when we are in nature, we become one with our own true nature. We learn about how to harmonize our lifestyle with the cycles and the rhythms of nature. We work on healing our traumas. We work on building healthier self-belief, self-concept, self-worth. We step into the empowerment, like, I need to step into my own power, because very often we are constantly giving our power away to someone or the other. I'm giving my power away to this government, to this political belief, to these advertisements. So many people have given their power. People have lost the ability to think as
One more,
individuals.
social
Yeah.
validation.
Social validation, social media. I don't feel in my power if I don't get 10 likes today. I have lost my self-esteem. I've lost my empowerment for the day. So very often in the past, some of the greatest philosophers, they just trained you to ask yourself powerful questions. What happens when you ask yourself, who was it? Um, who was it? No, it wasn't Pluto. Um, who was it who asked questions? He would go into the center of and he was given poison at the end of the day, because um, the greatest philosopher, sometimes I just blank out, but anyways, it will come to me. So he was poisoned. He gave his life to have his right to ask questions. And this is what is going to make me a true individual. And people say, we are all one, we are all one. Yes, we are all one. But I cannot become one with you or with anyone else if I don't become first and foremost one with my own self. So if I want to become one, it's very paradoxical. In spirituality, people say one of the goals is becoming one, like having oneness consciousness. In order to have oneness consciousness, I have to first have oneness with my own self. So this is where the roots of codependency lies. I refuse to become one with myself, but I want to just eagerly become one with other people. I'm constantly thinking what other people need from me, what other people want from me, what are the other people feeling, will they accept me, will they reject me? So my core, my center is not within myself. My center is within someone else. So even when someone tells me, oh, I'm an Oshoite. Oh, why are you, sleeping around with so many people? I'm an Oshoite. Osho said that this is okay. I don't care what Osho said. I've learned a lot from him and from a lot of beautiful, inspirational teachers, gurus, speakers, philosophers. But at the end of the day, I learned from all of them to find out what is my voice, who am I, what are my values, what do I stand for,
What works for me? That's
what works for me. Yeah. When I started my journey with Vipassana, Goenkaji on the last day, he said a very beautiful story. Like a young boy, his mom gives him very delicious pudding called kheer, Indian pudding called kheer, which is made with milk and rice, and she had put some cardamom and some spices in it. And the boy looks at the kheer and he says, no, look at this black thing in this. It is a stone. I'm not going to eat it. There is stone in the kheer. She said, no, my baby, I have just put, some cardamom. It's adding the flavor to the kheer. Why don't you just try it? And he was like, no, no, no. He was constantly arguing with her. There's stone in this. She said, okay, listen, if you are totally convinced that this is a stone, you can take out the stone. but at least enjoy the rest of the kheer. It was a beautiful, beautiful metaphor. So he said, you can be a true individual. You can take whatever resonates with you and leave the rest. So whatever resonates with me from different speakers and philosophers and teachers, I take that. But it has to resonate with my intuition. My intuition is my highest guru. And this is what I tell my students also. While I am their teacher, while I'm teaching a class of teacher training course, and a lot of times they want to bow down and I say it's okay. If you want to see me as your guru or as your teacher, it's beautiful. You're showing respect and devotion, it's beautiful. But I want first and foremost your own inner guru to be your first and most important guru. Your own inner voice, your own intuition is above everything. Have a filter here. I have a filter here. When I'm listening to any guru or any teacher, whatever is passing through the filter is what my intuition decides is going to pass through it. And that is why, even though I have learned from so many, my students come to my workshop and they have a jaw-dropping experience. They say, like, we've never seen this before. I've never learned this way before. And I'm like, that is how I want you all to be. I don't want to create puppets. I'm not going to create robots. My teaching style is when you go out in the world, I want to teach you a language with which you can form your own sentences. You can form your own exercises to bring the truth of awakening to your students. I don't want you to become a puppet and do exactly what I did, say exactly what I said, do exactly this. Like, there are some teachers who will give exercises, this 100 exercises you do, and just go and do this for the rest of your life. And even in my yoga teacher training course, this is how we were taught. And I was like, no, no, no. I'm not going to give you entire essay, entire sentence, entire everything. I'm going to train you how to create your own sentences with the words. I'm going to train you how to write your own essays with the sentences. But I want you to become your own individual self. What I am giving you is just the icing on the cake. The cake is coming from your own life experiences. Your life experience are different from my life experiences, even though you might have come with some similar insights as me, but you have your own experiences. So if 10 different people come to my teacher training course, all the 10 of them become very unique and different teachers in their own right, because they have their own personal experience, their own beliefs, their own values, their own ability to think for themselves. This is, to me, is very, very important. One person, he left his partner running after another woman in some kind of dance gathering, and he told me, like, oh, this is what Osho said, I'm an Oshoite, I'm doing it, because he was justifying his choice based on what Osho said. I'm like, I don't judge you for the choices you make. And by the way, he lost that woman also because she was also being an Oshoite with someone else. And so he lost the new woman, and he also lost his long-term partner who had given him a lot of his love and care and energy. Now, I'm not judging him or his partner for the choices that they make. But I say, take responsibility for your own choice. Don't put your gun on Osho's shoulder and shoot. This is my choice. This is who I am. Have the courage to say that. So I say, learn from different gurus and teachers, learn from Osho, but at the end of the day, be fully responsible for your own choices. Become an individual. This is the biggest gift you can give to your own self. The most spiritual thing you can do in this lifetime is to become an individual, is to become authentic. Rather than using the word enlightened, I like to use the word authentic. Become fully authentic.
Yeah, it's all about owning up yourself, owning up for your thoughts, emotions, actions. Take responsibility for who you are, what you think, why you are doing what you're doing, and rather than you using the name of some famous personality, or
Yes,
maybe sometimes saying that this is what my parents taught me or something. It's all
yes,
about I think after the age of 18, 21, you
yeah,
got to make your own choices. Yes, your parents try to give you the best that they knew. It was
absolutely.
their best that you have absorbed, but now it's
Yes.
totally up to you whether you want to continue that same way, or do you want to find out something more, something beyond that, a dimension?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Questioning is very important.
Questioning,
Questioning, am
questioning.
I eating this just because everybody else is eating it? Am I eating this at, am I eating dinner at 10 o'clock at night because everybody else is eating it? Or am I eating dinner at 7 o'clock because this is what my body is telling me to do? So a point needs to come where you have to question everything, including the diet that maybe even your ancestors have eaten. And maybe today's lifestyle is very different from
Lifestyle has
lifestyle
changed.
that our ancestors
Yeah.
led. When they were farmers doing hard work on the farms, what their gut could digest is very different from our guts, right?
Also,
So everything needs
one
to be
more
questioned.
point. They spent a
Yes,
lot more time on the soil. Now the soil also has a big influence on the gut microbiome, gut bacteria.
absolutely,
We are
absolutely.
wearing shoes, or we are wearing sandals. We hardly
Yes,
get that level of sun exposure because we are wearing shirts and suits. So we actually block out sunlight just
absolutely,
by wearing these fancy clothes, just like the shirt that I'm wearing. But at least I'm owning up that yes, uh,
yes.
that uh, the reality is that they had more sun exposure, they had more exposure to the soil than we.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. So before we sign off, I was thinking that maybe we can give 10 tips for a conscious lifestyle
Okay.
and 10 health benefits of coming to a spiritual retreat, especially a retreat that I cannot speak for other people, but I can share about my retreats, the kind of retreats that I do. Yeah, so
Sure.
I will come up with a few, and then you can add a few to them.
Okay.
So some lifestyle changes. One, uh, start your day. Must If you want to master your life, you want to master your day. If you want to master your day, you must master your morning. So how do you start your morning? It's very important. I would suggest definitely exercise in the morning. Start with lukewarm water with lemon or green herbal tea or something like that. Some
Ginger.
warm, yes, in the morning. Thirdly, I would say, take breaks at a few intervals in the day at least, away from social media and away from phone. Every There was an elderly lady, 90 plus, and she's super fit, and she said that she has an alarm going off on her phone every 15 minutes. She gets up and she moves her body. So not sitting statically continuously through the day is very important. If you can go to sleep by 9 or 10 p.m. at night, is very good. You want to add five more to this?
I would add, listen. This is about lifestyle
Yes,
tips.
yes,
Okay.
healthy lifestyle,
Okay.
conscious
So
lifestyle.
I would say start adding more raw foods.
Yes,
Okay. More sun exposure.
Beautiful.
Uh,
Walking bare
Cold
feet in the
showers.
sun.
Sorry,
Yes.
sorry.
Cold showers. And you had also mentioned walking bare feet on the soil in the
On the
sun.
soil. Yes, I didn't do that this morning, but I will do it next time. Just walking bare feet in the on the grass.
Yes.
And the fifth one that I can think of when it comes to lifestyle is connecting with the right kind of uh, people, the right network.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
really
conscious community is very important.
yes,
Who we become, very often they say that is the kind of people we surround ourselves by. And very often I spend time alone because I feel like connecting
solitude.
with myself. Very often in my college days, rather than doing small talk, I never enjoyed doing small talk. So I used to read books. So reading books and journaling. This is I would add these two. Read something quality or listen to some quality inspiring
One more,
podcast, and one more would be journaling, writing every
one
day.
more would be meditation. So even though we
Yes, of
planned
course.
for
There
10,
we
we ended
will,
up, yes,
yes, we gave three
we
bonuses.
get
That's
three,
great.
four more.
Bonuses
Yes,
are always good.
yes,
Bonuses are always good.
absolutely,
And I
absolutely.
will share 10 benefits of going on retreats. Now, I want to mention that in my retreats, I bring creative arts therapy together. So the concept of my retreat is bringing psychology and spirituality and creative arts together. Why psychology? Because through my journey of searching for spiritual healing and something that will save me, at the age of 19, I developed chronic illnesses and all that, and mental health challenges as well, depression, anxiety, insomnia. And I started exploring with Vipassana, with Goenkaji's Vipassana, and then yoga and this and that. And something always felt like it was missing. All these practices were beautiful, but they were mostly feeding my divine masculine side. And what was really missing was the psychology part. Yeah, I was taught how to push myself, how to detach myself, but I was not taught how to show empathy to myself, how to show empathy to my emotions. So creative arts also helps us go into our right brain more. It helps us tap into our higher self more easily. Okay, so time is coming to an end. Okay, so I would say creativity, your creative side gets expressed. So you start tapping into your truth much more, your intuition much more through the retreats. You learn healthier lifestyle, and you learn to speak your truth from a more confident place. You step much more into your own power. You learn to love yourself better. You heal your childhood wounds. And what else? You learn better communication. Okay. And what else? You can connect with like spirited people, and it becomes easier for you to go into a more meditative, natural, healthy lifestyle. So yes.
And I would add one more based on my retreat experience that you have a lot of fun. Have a
Yes,
lot of
creative
fun.
arts therapy is so much fun.
So
It's
much
like
fun. So
while
much fun.
having too much fun, you learn so much more, and you grow so much more, and you ascend so much more, and you empower so much more.